On the latest episode of Real Time with Bill Maher, he gave his take on the difference between Republicans and Democrats. Take a look.
Politics in this country is binary. You have to wear everything anyone on your side does. Republicans are the party of don't wear masks, kids in cages, lock her up, and Democrats are the party of every hypersensitive social justice warrior, woke story in the news.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Brace yourself for a fiery political showdown as Bill Maher takes on the deepening divide in today's political landscape. These days, it feels like choosing a side means buying into every slogan and talking point that comes with it. Republicans chant "lock her up" and reject masks, while Democrats are often accused of pushing over-the-top social justice narratives. And lately, it seems like some people gain influence just by repeating Donald Trump's words. But Maher isn't letting that slide. His latest target? Joy Behar. His sharp critique of Behar set social media on fire, with many praising his blunt reality check. But what exactly did Behar say to trigger Maher's scorching response? And how did he take apart her argument so effectively? We've got the full breakdown. Every bold jab, every sharp counterpoint. So grab a snack and settle in. You won't want to miss this one.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump.
In this clip from The View, Joy Behar takes a swipe at Caroline Leavitt's intelligence. She implies that Leavitt only got the job as Trump's press secretary because of her size 10, a comment dripping with irony, given Behar's own track record of controversial statements.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting that it's called, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
Bill Maher's blunt honesty and fearless opinions have earned him plenty of fans. But despite the show's name, it often feels more like a platform for reinforcing one dominant viewpoint rather than fostering open debate. As expected, opposing opinions are frequently brushed off as irrelevant or outright absurd. Joy Behar, in particular, has a habit of shutting down any criticism that doesn't fit her preferred narrative. Even within their own bubble, disagreement isn't tolerated. Behar was visibly frustrated when Alyssa Farah Griffin offered a different take on Caroline Leavitt's appointment as press secretary. In Joy's world, challenging the script isn't just unwelcome, it's practically off limits.
Politics in this country is binary. You have to wear everything anyone on your side does. Republicans are the party of don't wear masks, kids in cages, lock her up, and Democrats are the party of every hypersensitive social justice warrior, woke story in the news. They're the party that disappears people or tries to make them apologize for ridiculous things.
Bill Maher's criticism of Joy Behar goes beyond just her. It's a bigger commentary on the Democratic Party as a whole. If Caroline Leavitt had been appointed by a Democrat, she'd likely be praised as a sharp, eloquent rising star, a symbol of America's future. But because she was chosen under Trump, that same admiration is nowhere to be found. Both Maher and Greg Gutfeld have called out Behar for this glaring double standard, pointing out how her judgment of political figures seems to shift depending on party lines.
Is she really a 10? We'll be right back.
I noticed Jesse was a 7.
Joy Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
Greg Gutfeld's critique cuts straight to the point. Joy Behar downplays Caroline Leavitt's success, implying that only Democratic women rise through merit. Yet, if the same comment were made about a left-leaning woman, Behar would likely be the first to call for outrage and cancellation. It's a clear double standard. Those who preach diversity and inclusion suddenly go quiet when the target is someone like Leavitt. While Behar sticks to subtle jabs, Gutfeld doesn't hold back, pointing out that she's far from perfect herself. perhaps explaining her fixation on Levitt.
Ever-empowering feminist, Joy herself, everyone. And this is why, of course, she's on The View and not working for the most powerful man in the world, because Caroline would wipe the floor with you bitter banshees any day.
A recent report backs up what many have suspected. Joy. Behar may be envious of Caroline Levitt, who now works for one of the most powerful leaders in the world. Behar dismisses Levitt as unqualified, arguing that her background is too closely tied to her political views. But she conveniently ignores the real issue. It's not about age, it's about ability. Maybe Behar's frustration comes from knowing her own resume wouldn't even land her a job answering phones at the White House, let alone leading a press briefing. She's also quick to defend Kamala Harris, insisting that any criticism, especially of Harris's awkward public moments, is simply sexism. Because in today's political climate, disagreeing isn't just frowned upon, it's practically forbidden.
What really ticks me off about him, though, is this laughing Kamala remark. It's such a remark, because a guy I was with over the weekend, a friend of mine, they said Kamala's laugh annoys me. Remember they said that about Hillary's laugh, that she was cackling. And men, they don't like a funny woman. We're afraid if you laugh or you make a joke, that maybe you'll do that when they're in bed with you. It's like this fear.
No surprises here. Joy Behar's argument that disliking a woman's laugh automatically means you fear women isn't exactly airtight. It's the kind of take that raises more eyebrows than it convinces. No wonder. Ben Shapiro has called her out for her off-the-wall opinions.
What now? So, if you don't like Kamala Harris's weird cackling, it's because you fear her in the boudoir?
Huh?
That's a theory there, Joy. I feel like, given her personal history, Willie Brown and all, that's probably not what people are thinking about Kamala Harris when they are thinking about that type of activity, but sure, go with that.
Ben Shapiro didn't mince words. His issue with Kamala Harris's laugh isn't rooted in some deep-seated fear of women. He just finds it annoying. But in today's political climate, even the most basic criticism gets twisted into a grand conspiracy against an entire group. The so-called woke crowd has a habit of turning any critique into accusations of racism, misogyny, or some other ism. If you don't cheer for every move their chosen figures make, you're instantly labeled a bad person. Even questioning a policy is enough to get you slapped with a negative label.
This idea that Trump won with some kind of mandate is not true. I mean, we have information there. He beat Kamala Harris by 1.6%. Joe Biden beat Trump by 4.5%, and nobody said it was a mandate. So get that out of your lips, out of your mouth. These people were saying it's a mandate. It's not a mandate.
Joy Behar, once again, is very confused. The reason that Trump is said to have a mandate here is not because he won the election by 1.6%. He didn't win the election by 1.6%. He won the election in a landslide. He got 312 electoral votes.
Finally, someone called out Joy Behar for her nonsense. It's hard to believe she thought that was worth saying out loud. Can't wait to see what these ladies come up with next.
Votes is what determines who wins the presidential election. He only needed 270 to win, and he got 312. Totally destroyed Kamala Harris. That number, the 1.6 or 1.8% that she's referencing, is the popular vote. Trump also won the popular vote. First time a Republican's done that in 20 years.
Huge.
Democrats have an advantage in the popular vote because Republicans generally don't campaign in the big Democrat states, New York and California, because the Democrats are going to win it anyway. It's a waste of campaign dollars and time.
Megyn Kelly's fiery takedown of Joy Behar was absolutely brutal. In the best way. She joked that Behar was so shaken by Trump's conviction that she had a full-on meltdown right in the frozen food aisle at Costco. Kelly's signature razor-sharp wit was on full display, and she didn't hold back.